Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you're listening. This is Ben Goujon with Quad City Arts, and welcome back to Talking Art, supported by Quad City Bank and Trust. Today I am talking art with singer-songwriter Charlotte Blu, a local musician who is branching out into other mediums with her film, Big Things. Charlotte, welcome to Talking Art.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in your orbit for a few years now, but this is the first time we've really had a chance to sit down and talk. So I'm excited to dig in a little bit. You just graduated from Augustana College.
Yes, I did.
You did. What was your degree in?
My degree was in psychology.
Awesome. And you kind of, I don't want to dwell on this, but you kind of your rise to local fame was you had an appearance on The Voice that got aired nationally, your audition, and you did awesome. And that has kind of propelled you into your career while also being a student. So tell me about, I want to go back before that. How did you start singing?
Yeah.
How did all of that start and come about? And
So I grew up around singers. My mom is a singer-songwriter. My aunt sang in tenor soul.
oh yeah,
So I've always been just influenced by music, pretty much throughout my childhood. So in the church was kind of where it started, where I started leading worship. And then after that, I started getting involved in different music camps.
yeah.
So Common Chord, which back then was known as RME, Review Music Experience. I remember my first ever blues camp that I did there. And I remember just being so intimidated by like the talent that like kids had. And I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Like maybe I could, do music professionally. So I got my first guitar at 10. And then from there, I just wanted to keep learning and growing. And I really think it was like just being around other musicians that really inspired me and helped me to grow as a musician. So that's
Yeah.
kind of where it all started, from like my family into the community and then going out into the world and
Yeah.
playing. So yeah.
Well, I love, that you coming from that blues camp idea, because I think listening to you sing, like you have such a depth and a maturity to your voice that is, you don't often see in a young singer, I think, which has made you so unique and such a standout vocally. And, I think listening to your work, there is so much of that kind of, and I don't know what sort of music your church played, but like there is that, like those gospel and blues traditions in your voice. So I mean,
Yeah.
when you are singing, what's your process through that? I mean, lots of people I think can sing a pretty song, but like I said, there's a depth and a maturity to your voice that comes through. Like, is that something you just think is naturally, or is that something that you intentionally are working
No,
towards?
for me, I think it's always been an emotion thing, and just feeding off of like the crowd and their emotions, and especially if it's a certain song that has a deep message in it. A lot of times that I take that into account when I'm singing. But yeah, I think it's just like I don't want to say I was born into it, but I definitely worked up to it, and a lot of like nights singing karaoke in my basement helped. But yeah, it's always been something that just, I feel like every artist has something in them to share, and I think that's my thing, like my emotions and all those things that maybe people don't see outwardly.
Sure.
But when I'm doing my artistry, that I feel like that comes through.
Well, yeah, and I think it's interesting too. You just graduated with a degree in psychology,
Hmm.
and I feel like there is a connection
Yeah,
with that and the way you
definitely.
interpret a song.
Hmm.
And I know as someone from the acting world, like that's what we do
Yeah.
as interpreters of words on a page, as a singer-songwriter or as an actor, like taking those words and then infusing
Hmm.
them with those emotions.
Yeah. And it's that like you said, that human interaction, like, for you
Yeah.
between the other actor, and then for me it's kind of with the audience or with whoever I'm playing
Yeah.
with.
Well, yeah, on my way here, I was listening to your song April Showers that you did
Hmm.
with Louis Knudsen.
Yep.
And it was raining and April Showers is on. It's kind of
Perfect
got a
setting.
melancholy vibe, but there was that interplay between the two of you in it,
Hmm.
and it is like acting. It's like, hey, we're
Yeah.
having a dialogue here and we're
Definitely.
sharing these feelings about this, and it was really beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So you had your kind of big break on The Voice, and you've
Hmm.
been going to school, and I see you playing around town a lot at festivals and restaurants, and kind of, you know, juggling this dual like music
Hmm.
career and career as a student.
Yeah.
Uh, where is that leading you?
Yeah. So
It's probably a good question
yeah,
right
that's
now.
a very good question. I get asked that a lot. Um, I think especially now I have the time to dedicate towards my craft. I think school was very taxing and time
Yeah,
consuming for me. Um, and there are things that I wanted to do with music, but I just couldn't because there's school. But that's important. People should stay in school. Um,
be cool. Stay
yeah,
in school.
yep. So yeah, that's been a journey trying to navigate through young adulthood and being an artist and wanting to be creative and
Yeah.
wanting to show people the work that I have. Um, but now that I have the time to, I am excited to be getting creative, getting in the studio. I've been working with some artists from out of town and collaborating. So
Awesome.
I cannot wait for those projects to be out soon. Yeah.
Well, and you've got another project you're working
Yes.
on, and we kind of teased this earlier, but you're
Hmm.
branching into the world of film
Yep.
with a project that you're putting together that's a combination of
Hmm.
an EP and a film,
Yes.
correct?
Yes, it is.
And it's called Big Things.
Hmm.
So this is a big thing.
Yes.
Well, tell us
Yes.
about Big Things, because
Yeah.
reading, you had applied for an Arts Dollars grant with
Hmm.
Quad City Arts, and reading the description, I was just like, this sounds really,
Hmm.
really cool. Like, I love that infusion of film and music.
Hmm.
And like, I always think of, for me, I always go back to Lemonade, Beyonce's Lemonade,
Yeah.
like when she created that project. But tell us about the Big
Yeah.
Things.
So Big Things is gonna be like a portrayal of my life story, my journey, kind of what I said, like with navigating through young adulthood, but also being a musician. Um, and it kind of centers around that, but also that feeling of like doubt and fear of like if I'm good enough, if what I'm doing has a meaning or purpose. So it's kind of follows along that and this idea of like becoming something before you even know that you're becoming something.
Sure.
And so that's where like the title Big Things comes in. Like there's big things happening and I just don't see it yet.
Right.
So it's pretty cool stuff. We're gonna have actors in it. I really wanted to stress community in it because I feel like that is a big part of my journey,
Yeah.
a big part of support for me in my music career. So we're planning on partnering with some local organizations. Definitely gonna be a whole like EP. So it's gonna be a series, and each video is gonna follow a song,
Oh,
and
cool.
each song kind of represents an emotion or part of my journey.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for it. It's gonna be great. It's something new, something different. I think a lot of people are going to see me personally
Hmm.
rather than me as the artist. So,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Well, and that's so interesting to me because I think a lot of times from the outside, people see like an artist's journey as very straightforward.
Hmm.
And you obviously had this very like big career moment when
Yeah.
you were very young.
Hmm.
And things aren't always linear. It's not like I'm here and then I'm here and
Yep.
I'm singing at the Grammys. Like
Exactly.
there
Yeah.
is a journey
Hmm.
through that. Some of my favorite actor stories are like someone would get some big role and they're like, they came out of nowhere. And then you read an interview and they're like, no, I was like working all these crazy small jobs in these
Hmm.
places you've never heard of for 20
Yeah.
years to get here. And so, like, I would be curious to know, kind of as you've navigated your journey, like,
Hmm.
how that I'm sure that's going to inform this
Yeah,
project and kind of like
for sure.
what your goals are and how that journey's been for you.
Hmm. Yeah, so I guess we have to go back to the voice and doing the voice for that. Um, yeah, doing the voice was an amazing experience. Definitely a peak of my career, I would
Yeah.
say. Um, but I just remember after that, um, I think I felt a lot of pressure to just do something, be something, because I think that's what people expected.
Hmm.
And so after that, I will never forget that feeling of just defeat, you know,
Yeah.
because I wanted so bad to prove I could live up to people's expectations. Um, so after that, it was just a lot of like reflection, a lot of thinking about, okay, who am I as an artist? Who am I personally? And so it took a lot of just me trying to find myself and creating, finding myself in the music. And so, that's why I attribute like a lot of the things that I did after that to the voice, because I think it definitely catapulted everything else. Like me releasing my EP,
Yeah.
I think it made me very ambitious to um, do something and to just find myself.
Well, yeah, and it's like seeing yourself at that level and knowing like, oh, I can hold my own here.
Hmm.
Like it forces you to push yourself in a way
Yeah.
that maybe you wouldn't have before,
Hmm. Exactly.
and those, I totally understand that. You talk about kind of the peak and the valley afterwards.
Hmm.
And, I know from my career, like you would get that, like get that role on a film or a TV show or
Hmm.
whatever that you're like, oh, this is the thing.
Hmm.
And then afterwards, then it's crickets and you're still like, what?
What's next?
Like, I was supposed to get the call the next day, like the
Hmm.
call, and
Yeah.
I didn't get the call. So what do I do now?
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know?
I think it's just living in that space of like you said, like what's next,
Yeah.
you know? And I think I've been living in that space for a long time. And
Well, and you've been balancing
yeah,
school, so
exactly.
that's
Yeah. That has been a thing. But that kind of goes back to some of the topics that will be touched in the film, like
yeah.
just being in that waiting period, that waiting space.
Well, yeah, and you spoke about kind of, I guess, finding your voice as an
Hmm.
artist, and I think that's such a crucial and also difficult time as an artist.
Hmm.
When you are, and age doesn't matter, but when you're at that point where you're like, what is it I do?
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes when you're young, it's like, oh, I can do this thing and I can do it well,
Hmm.
but you don't know exactly what you're doing or
Hmm.
how that's coming through, and so you need kind of those marination years. It's like
Hmm.
a good stew or like a good gumbo where it's like, no, this
Yeah.
just needs to simmer. Like we're going to simmer this
Hmm.
for several hours to start
Yeah.
to build all the flavors.
Hmm. I
And
love that. Yeah.
what as you've been simmering the last few years, like
Hmm.
what flavors are popping out that you're
Yeah.
interested in?
I love the use of like flavors. Um, I think I have found joy in just community.
Mhm.
Like that has been such a big thing for me. And I think that's why I'm in like the right field because
Yeah.
I enjoy just being around people. Um, and I think that's what, being in college has taught me that maybe music hasn't, is just that sense of just community, being able to communicate with people well. Um, I think I've just learned a lot from that area. Um, yeah, I got
Yeah.
lost in train of thought.
No worries. Well, have you, kind of moving into this new arena with the
Mhm.
film, like, have you acted before? Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I have actually. I was like a little theater kid.
Okay.
In high school, I did a lot of theater. And I actually do enjoy acting. I enjoy watching films and movies. So doing this film is definitely going to bring back like my childhood self because acting was something I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And I took a few courses in college.
Sure.
So I'm hoping to like use those in this film. But yeah, like I'm excited to be acting as myself, but I guess more exaggerated in that
Sure.
sense. But yeah.
That's exciting. And is it kind of one large film with a
Hmm.
narrative, or more kind of vignettes with that
Yeah.
will correlate with the songs on
Hmm.
the EP?
Yeah, it's going to be shot more as like a series.
Okay.
So there'll be basically shorts,
Yeah.
a series of shorts, and each short will center around one song. And it'll kind of be like a music video
Hmm.
slash documentary. But yeah, it'll be shot as a series, and each video will be released in segments.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. When do you have a release date, or what's kind of your
Yeah.
timeline for the project?
Yeah, so we're pushing for the first video is going to be released in August.
Okay.
So that's kind of be like the kicker. We're planning on having a new song out by then. It's called One Community, and this song is very meaningful in the way that um, it's gonna be one of those songs that's like, I guess Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror, like that kind
Yeah.
of thing where it's like, united. I feel like there's been a lot of division over the past few years, and I kind of wanted something to combat that.
Hmm.
So this will be that song.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so, well, it's funny because you were talking about the music videos and the storytelling, and
Hmm.
obviously with the film, like Michael Jackson is,
Hmm.
I don't want to say resurgence because I feel Michael is always present in our lives.
Yes.
But there's just been, he's been around more this year, and my 5-year-old is obsessed with him right
Hmm.
now, and like we listen to Michael Jackson all the time, we watch the videos, but like his videos were so groundbreaking in their storytelling,
Yeah.
in ways that just other music videos were not at that time.
Hmm.
So you talking about that even before you mentioned it made me think of like, oh, like old Michael videos.
And they made you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Like every video just made you feel like, whether it was like scared with like Thriller or like just like happy, excited, like. And so that's kind of what I want to do with this film, is like make people feel like a range of emotions.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. As you continue to explore
Hmm.
your career, do you have like, what are your long-term goals? Like if you could look at yourself in 10 years, where would you want to be?
Ooh, asking all the hard questions, I see.
That's what we do here. Sometimes.
Yeah. It's very hard to see the forest for the trees for me,
Yeah.
but in 10 years, I would just want my music to have an impact on people's lives. I would just want to reach as many people as I can. and just live with no doubt or fear, you know, and just knowing that I did as much as I could with my music and lived up to the fullest potential.
Yeah.
I think I would be very happy with that. Just, you know, staying true to myself, and true to the music. I think as long as I'm doing that, then you can't do any wrong.
Sure.
So that's where I see myself in 10 years, just reaching as many people as I can and getting my music out there, because I think I have something to say, and I think that people will resonate with it. So
Yeah, well, the output you've had so far, I think definitely resonates with audiences. So I am excited to see what you do going forward. I'm excited to see the Big Things project. And also you mentioned you have some gigs lined up
yeah.
in the future. Where can people check you out at? Where can we see you?
So you can check me out at charlotteblumusic.com. And I will be performing with a few of my musician friends at the Lost Woods Festival. That's going to be in September.
That's exciting.
So yeah, pretty fun.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to seeing you there. We look forward to seeing the films, and I just can't wait to see where your career goes. You've got a ton of talent, and I can't wait to see what flavors bubble up.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Charlotte, thank you so much for being here today. Thanks again to Quad City Bank and Trust for their support, and also to our producer, the man on the mix, Mr. Josh Graves. For more information about Charlotte, you can visit charlotteblumusic.com, and Blue is BLU in that. Just don't put an E on it when you go to the website. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Ben Goujon, and this was Talking Art.